Hello, Matthew from the Omagh DevOps Lab here to explain about what DevOps actually is, which is development and operations, the very process that builds the internet, anything with innovation, and grounds an idea into reality and codes logic and creates a lot of really cool stuff that we use on an everyday basis. I practice what is called DevSecOps, which is the development, security, and operations, which creates a very safe environment for people to develop their business plans and projects without worrying about intellectual property being stolen. So let's go ahead and start off with the different components of what DevOps is. Development, we have your plan, your code, your build, your test, and your release. So, plan is the organizational capabilities. What do you want your organization to do? What policies do you want to create? The code is a representation and logical behavior of that plan. So, you spell it out using different codes such as C, Python, Linux, or batch scripting, whatever works and whatever gets the job done. Build, which is a creation and implementation of that code into the CI/CD pipeline, the continuous development pipeline, and then we test, which is the validation and refinement of that code. So we basically ground that idea into code and logic, and basically build the business from there. Then we have the release, which is your product preparation and approval. And this is where the excitement begins and goes into operations. In the operations side of things, we have deploy, operate, and monitor. And then we also repeat the process. So when we deploy the code that we've just developed, we deliver it to the consumer. So it's no longer just a code that runs on a single computer. It is now operations that everyone is using this code to make your vision a reality. And then the operation is the sustain and administration, just kind of maintaining things and making sure that everything looks all right. And then we have our monitor side of things, which is observe and improve. After that, we repeat the process. It's a continuous input, continuous development, continuous operations. One major problem that I found when starting off in computer science is that it's not for tech consumerism. Yes, we use tech to develop tech, but it's more than that. It's finding out how one keyword can build an entire ecosystem of hardware, middleware, and software. This means how do you ingest, process, and output this data? Once you understand how the information relates to each other, then you build the hardware. This is an example of an SQLite 3 database, which is something I'm creating by using these tables of information that I've gathered over time. Look more up on an artist ID. I can go through and let's see, I'll do 11. So here you can create this table and actually export this kind of information over to a spreadsheet for further analysis. Here we have a screenshot for all of the related database stuff for the entire database cluster. So that's all of the 56 spreadsheets highlighted in the different colors and the related schema or keywords that are basically eliciting some form of data from the user. Some things here. So task ID, I'm going to make this number 2. Project ID 458. And past name, like and subscribe. As low tech as the program may seem, we're doing a lot of things under the hood that you just don't see out front. One, we're simplifying the data intake. It's just you and the computer. It asks you a very simple schema: name, address. Okay? And then also, we're bypassing a lot of the proprietary software, such as Microsoft Office, that just charges you an arm and a leg to use it. After all 56 of these programs are run, we're basically building these tables from scratch without the use of this proprietary software. If after you decide to use Microsoft, that's your prerogative, or you can use other alternatives such as LibreOffice. This program now is able to be hosted on HTML, which is kind of like a website. So we've got something that looks a little bit more professional than what's been presented, but I'm just not going to show that to anyone yet. What I can say about this code is that it is hosted on the intranet versus the internet. The difference being that the intranet is your local network versus the internet, which is the broader network. The capability and versatility of this code allows me to host the code on any device, whether it be mobile phone, tablet, or laptop, desktop, whatever, and it pulls that information and centralizes everything so you have your network attached storage here and all your different computers, and they're all sending the information to the one server, which will then build the analytics side of things. And from the analytics side of things, you now have a company. All right, as small as this thing may look, with a 3-board, single board computer, this is the Omagh DevOps network. It doesn't look like much, but it can host up to 24 people. It is its own private network and separate from the internet. It can also connect to the internet. It provides your encryption, your firewall, and shared storage capability, and it was built from the ground up to rapidly build your business. By joining the Omagh DevOps Lab, this network can help build your business into an enterprise. Thank you for your time.
Competitive rates available. Email or WhatsApp for details.